All right, let's talk about what actually makes a YouTube video successful. Today, we're going to get into the systems behind some of the biggest names out there. We're going to deconstruct what it really takes to go viral, not by accident, but by design.
You know, it's the question every single creator asks themselves. You're scrolling, you see a video with millions and millions of views, and you just have to wonder, how on earth did they do that? Was it just a lucky break? Did the algorithm just decide to bless them that day?
Well, if you ask some of the most successful people on the platform, the answer is a hard no. See, for them, success isn't about luck at all. It's a system. So today we're going to break down 3 totally different philosophies that turn virality into something you can actually repeat. So first up, we have the engineer. And honestly, who better to represent this mindset than Mr. Beast? For him, a viral video isn't some magical creative spark. Nope, it's basically a math problem. And if you have enough data, you can solve it. He literally reverse engineers success.
And this quote pretty much says it all. Why would you waste your own time and money just guessing what might work when you can learn from the billions of data points that YouTube gives us for free every single day? He sees the whole platform as one giant public experiment that he can just tap into.
The core idea here is simple. Data tells you what people actually click on, not what you think they're going to click on. And the engineer's favorite tool for this is the A/B test. You just put 2 thumbnails head-to-head, let them fight it out, and see which one gets more clicks. It's all about squeezing the absolute most out of every impression.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. The creator, Ryan Trahan, was testing thumbnails for a video about a super luxury airline. Thumbnail A is fine, it gets the point across. But thumbnail B, that direct visual comparison between a cramped economy seat and a fancy first-class one, it was the clear winner. And here's the wild part. Mr. Beast pointed out that he ran a really similar test a year earlier, and that same split-screen idea won for him too. That's the engineer's playbook in action. Use existing data to get results faster.
To make all this happen, Mr. Beast didn't just hope for the best. He literally built his own set of tools. He can find outliers, which are those videos that just explode and do way better than a channel's normal videos. He can search through millions of thumbnails to spot visual trends. He can study a huge database of A/B tests to figure out what makes people tick. The whole thing is designed to find patterns and then replicate them.
Okay, but data is only half the story, right? The numbers can give you an amazing idea, but they can't actually make the video for you. And that's where we shift gears from the engineer to the artist. This philosophy, which guys like Learn by Leo champion, says that even the best idea will totally flop if the execution isn't there and if you don't really get viewer psychology.
So the artist starts with something called the reason to watch. It's that one single powerful promise your video makes. Why should someone stop scrolling and give you their time? If you can't answer that question in a super clear, instant way, your idea just isn't strong enough. It has to be a hook you just can't ignore.
And check this out. This is such a great way to think about it. Imagine a viewer's attention is a tank of water. The second they click your video, that tank is full. But there's always a leak. People's attention just naturally drains away. So the artist's job is to keep refilling that tank again and again with little moments of value. A perfectly timed joke, a surprising fact, a really cool edit, before that tank runs dry and they click off.
So for the artist, it really all comes down to the craft. A great concept that the data says should work will still fall flat if it isn't delivered with a story that's well-paced, hooks you from the very first second, and never, ever lets you go. It's all about respecting the viewer's attention.
So we've got the data from the engineer and the craft from the artist. Our third persona, the scientist, takes a bit of both and puts them to the ultimate test. This approach, which Jack Craig shows off perfectly, is all about running fast, real-world experiments. This is where the theory hits the road. Okay, so Jack Craig wanted to prove virality wasn't just luck. So he started a SpongeBob fan theory channel from zero. Think of it like a real science experiment. His hypothesis, a well-made short video in a popular niche could go viral fast. Day 1, he uploads. By day 2, he's got 12,000 views. Not bad. The initial data looks good. He looks at the retention, tweaks his approach, and uploads a better version on day 6. And by day 7, it is taking off. The growth is exponential, hypothesis proven. But then, a twist. The channel gets age restricted and the whole thing just grinds to a halt.
But right here, this is where that scientist mindset is so important. For Jack, the experiment wasn't a failure. Not at all. That weird, unexpected outcome? It was just more data. He learned which topics worked, what kind of editing kept people watching, and some of the pitfalls on the platform to watch out for. The learning itself was the win, and he can take all that knowledge into his next experiment.
So we've got these 3 really powerful playbooks, right? The engineer who works with data, the artist who focuses on craft, and the scientist who runs experiments. But the real secret, the thing the pros know, you don't have to pick just one. The best creators are all 3.
You know, each of these philosophies answers a really important question. The engineer is asking, what does the data say people want to watch? That gives you a great starting point. The artist asks, how can I make this thing so compelling you can't look away? That's what makes it connect. And the scientist asks, what can I test and learn this week? That keeps it all grounded in what actually works.
When you look at the most successful creators on the platform, they're a hybrid. They don't stay in just one lane. They use data like an engineer to find a solid foundation. Then they build on top of that with amazing storytelling just like an artist. And they are relentlessly testing, learning, and getting better in the real world like a scientist. It's that mix that really turns this from a hobby into a reliable system for success. So this unified playbook, this whole idea is what helps you stop hoping for luck and start creating a process you can actually control. So the final question is really for you to think about. When you look at how you make things, which of these roles do you naturally lean into? And maybe more importantly, which part of this playbook are you going to focus on next?